Hello everybody and welcome back. Oh, well, not welcome back, but rather welcome to the start of a brand new Let's Play. So, Humankind is a game that, as of when I'm recording this, came out a little over a week and a half ago, give or take, something like that. As of when you all see this video, that'll be more like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. This is going to probably be a somewhat short series because of the settings that I plan to use. Let's go ahead and actually just sort of get started. So we are going to play on a huge map. Normal pace. Don't want to go with... Yeah, we'll do last team in standing, although it's not quite last team in standing because it's still... enables the reaching the last turn as a victory condition. So it's not quite limiting you to domination victories, but whatever, I guess. As per usual with the start of a new series, this episode will be a bit longer than usual, at an hour long. I do plan for parts of this series to probably be in the 30 to 45-ish minutes. So this is a little bit longer, but not significantly. We will play with 6 competitors, although it says 6 competitors, but it's not actually 6 competitors because competitors also includes you, which is not the way I would phrase it personally. But so be it. So we can actually... So there is, in fact, actually 6 competitors. We'll kick that up to 7. And let's go ahead and begin. I really... These don't matter because for those of you that... Well, we'll see when we get in. But yeah, this game is similar to Civilization, but it is not the same. There are some fairly distinct differences. This loading screen wants to take a little while to get going. Luckily, you all will only have to put up with the loading screen once because going forward, I will be loading the game before we start up.
Our universe contains infinite stories, most of which are about rocks and ice at sub-zero temperatures in a vacuum. Rather boring. However, on a small damp rock, there is a story that bears a second look. It's your story. But the first 4 billion years or so mostly concern amino acids. Not much of a page turner. But then, over time, the amino acids bond together, and things start to get interesting and a bit drier. A certain subspecies of hominid discovers that you can do more with a sharp rock than annoy your little brother. Tools and weapons are invented. The hominids begin to cooperate. Fire becomes a servant rather than an unpredictable force of nature. They learn to tan the skins of animals for clothing. They learn ways to record and probably exaggerate their adventures. Eventually, these tribes learn to build shelters and immediately hold the first barbecue parties. This is the dawn of humankind. Struggle and cooperation have been rewarded. The Neolithic era draws to a close. The whole world beckons. This tribe has come far, but the rest of their story is your story. You are the one who will build them into a great civilization. How far will you push humankind? A new era, a new epoch. While your tribe looks to you for leadership, the weight of all those future, unborn generations also weighs upon your decisions. What sort of lives will they have?
Okay, so, whether or not it'll actually get shown off during this part or not is dependent upon how lucky we get with one in particular of our knowledge stars, or particular, well, one of the era stars, particularly the knowledge star. I think this is the only era star that actually gives you a legacy trait for whatever reason. Like, they introduce it, and literally none of the other era stars, as far as I've played, actually give you a legacy trait option. This is the only one to my knowledge, so we're gonna try and get that one. I don't really care if we get the other two. If we do, great. Doesn't really matter to me, all things considered. Most important thing to me is getting the knowledge star. So let's go ahead and start exploring.
What's over there? I feel it.
Yeah, there's some resources there, but nothing. It's not actually useful to us right now.
This way. Onwards.
In fact, I'd even go so far as to say we're kind of getting a little unlucky that we haven't found anything yet. Oh, yeah, and of course, getting in the river takes up a full turn, but in the river, oh, damn it. Now there's food back there, but oh well, I'm not gonna go all the way back there to get it.
Sustenance, security, and pleasure. Wonderful stuff, this simple food.
Almost gave us a extra pop, which would have been great. Yeah, we'll go down there and get that. Because getting a second person to start exploring is always beneficial. And actually, I'm gonna have you go up there. You're gonna go back up. Let's see. A world aflame. In the distance, a thin cord of smoke cuts up into the clear blue skies. Fire. Calling a few tribesmen, you run closer, the smell of cindered bark and burning pine growing stronger with each footfall. You spy dancing flames and suddenly find yourself on the edge of a settlement on fire. Many of the structures are ablaze, but even with the smoke and flames, you can see these abodes are marvels of craftsmanship. You are about to direct your men to put out the fires with loose soil when you see short, shadowed figures running away. Youths. They could become part of your tribe if you give chase now, but that would mean losing the secrets of construction. What is your choice? So we can chase after them and gain a new army of refugees. Or we can get a minus 25% on city defense research cost. Question is, so city defense research cost is a potentially nice one because that is a more permanent bonus. So I think we're gonna go for that, honestly. Because this is a temporary, gets up to 3 population. Not exactly useful right now, really. Like, it doesn't actually help me. So, yeah. We're gonna go for the helping us out with our research. Okay, then I want you guys to go over there.
Just because a culture died out doesn't mean it wasn't worthy of study.
Okay, we got one of those, which is nice. Gave us some. That gives us that 2 out of 10. We'll see how this all goes. We'll make use of the river to quickly progress. This is actually a very nice thing that this game does. Okay, now you here. Up here, go here. Go ahead and head up there. Gives me another pop to go ahead and have them start exploring. Well, those guys, that's damn moose is in the way, or deer. Let's go ahead and kill it. We're only allowed the 1 unit.
For our young.
We haven't quite learned how to engage in communication with other parties. Now, of course, him being up on the high ground does give him benefit to attacking. At least it usually does.
For the tribe.
But I guess we're not getting a penalty to attacking for attacking uphill. And we're doing a good enough job. We're taking some damage, but we'll kill him.
earth gives us strength.
And that gets us some food, not enough to do anything significant, but it's some food.
Do it.
And I'm gonna have you probably jump back in the river. Now, I can't have these guys heal because you can only heal in friendly territory. And we're not in friendly territory.
We move.
Okay, that's another explorer.
We move.
God, you know what? Honestly, the horses are kind of a nice thing to get, so I think we're gonna go ahead and establish a camp down here. And honestly, with all those rivers, it seems like a pretty decent spot. Lost Souls 1. Your scout comes to you, breathless from exertion. Between gasps, he tells you that he spied another tribe not far ahead. He leads you on. Then, after giving a stop signal, you drop to your bellies and crawl forward in the brush. Ahead, a young woman, no more than 13, Summers, is leading a ceremony. Her audience, a dozen or so equally young or younger tribesmen. Many are crying, and when you see the bodies laid out, you understand they are in mourning. You know what you must do. We can withdraw because they could be sick or cursed, and we will make haste from this place. Or these children need care and shelter. We will be their guardians, and they will become our new tribe. Yes, I'll take the free army, thank you very much. That allows us now, since we have 5 pops, to go ahead and move on to the next era if we so choose. We do not choose right now, so remind me later. I don't believe... Oh no, somebody has actually taken somebody. Ooh. Somebody's already gone ahead and taken the Mycenaeans. Which... don't really care too much for, honestly. That's sort of... I think I'm probably gonna go for the Babylonians, because research is very important to me. Oh, somebody else just shows something. Oh, okay, that's just the game telling me that now somebody has chosen the Mycenaeans, because, yes, the change doesn't actually take effect until the following turn. Oh, you've got some food up there.
This way.
Some more food, wonderful. Have them get out of the river.
This way.
Or at least the new party will get out of the river.
We move.
They'll head over here and jump in this other river. And we have discovered the Tigris. We actually do seem to be getting a little bit unlucky when it comes to finding the... science.
This way.
Little... curiosities, yeah. We're getting tons of food, which, I mean, is useful, but I'd kind of like science. A little more so, game, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Do it. Onward.
Oh, there we go. Ah, damn it. Use their movement points, so they're gonna have to wait a turn. There we go, that's another 2. Okay, you're here now. Game's gonna recommend me some places. It says I should build it right on that tile, which is probably not the worst spot. But I'll be honest, I think I could live with a little bit less food initially for a 3 times increase in production. Thank you very much, game. Your recommendation wasn't the worst ever, but I had better.
This way.
And somebody has chosen the Hittites. Gets us to 3.
This way.
Onwards. Yes. This way.
God damn. Okay, well, we're gonna be starting off with a lot of pop, which does come with some benefits.
My feet hurt. What's over there?
Namely that it gives us some extra troops. here at game start.
We move.
Okay, and we've discovered Eriviculum, or however it's pronounced. I definitely mispronounced that.
Onwards. Yes.
You go into that river then.
This way. What's over there? My feet hurt. What's over there?
Come on.
This way.
There has got to be... I need like one more. That's it, game. Just one more. If I'm... Well, assuming I'm lucky, I need just the one more. And we got a sanctuary, which I don't care for. I mean, I could raise it to the ground for whatever that's worth. Okay, that's some extra food that I didn't really care for, but I'll take it.
We move. Onward. This way. Do it.
That's some more food up there.
This way.
Split you off.
Uh-huh. Yes.
You know, we gotta spread out. Oh, there we go. There we go. That should be the last one I need, in theory.
This way. Onward. Uh-huh.
Send you back down. Who was it that was damaged? I know one of you was damaged. Or did you heal up from getting food? You must have healed up from getting food. Because you definitely don't heal up naturally. Ah, damn. That was only worth one. Okay. You continue following the river.
My feet hurt.
Oh. Okay. You're gonna have to get out earlier and then move into a different river.
Acknowledged.
Go up there. Nope. You're not seeing anything.
Do it. We move.
Up there we go. And that's what I was looking for. Thank you, game. That's all I needed. I could go ahead and get the kill 5 animals, and that'll give me 20 fame, which is the currency used to determine who wins at the end of the game if you end up needing to win from the turn limit. So we have the Assyrians as an option here. The tallest blade is the first to be cut by the scythe. Raid Masters +1 land movement speed on units and +5 combat strength when ransacking on army. Their unique building to build is the Danu. +2 influence, +10 district fortification, and +1 combat strength in combat for units in or adjacent to the district. Is land unit spawn and is fortified. This is basically just building a I can't recall the name of the actual district, but this is basically just a special version of that district that includes influence. The district fortification and combat strength is literally exactly the same. Same with it being a unit spawn, and fortified is just whatever that's really worth at the end of the day. I assume it's just basically, it has walls, so the enemies would have to breach those walls to do full damage to you. But we're gonna go with the Babylonians, I believe, where the mind can see, the physical body can follow. So, brilliant philosophers, +2 science per research technology on capital. And -10 stability for building the astronomy house, which isn't really anything special. That's literally any district you build has a -10 to stability. +3 science per adjacent farmer's quarter. On city or outpost, +1 food per researcher, +1 science per researcher, and +1 researcher slot. Count as farmer quarter, count as research quarter. Which I'm assuming that's just saying you get a research slot as well for every farmer quarter and research quarter. We're mostly just getting this because of the nice extra to research. These bonuses aren't going to be particularly useful in the early game because you're going to struggle to have enough pops anyway to fill out all of your farmers, workers, merchants, and researchers anyway, so yeah. That's not actually super useful, that part, but that's what we'll go with here for that. Obviously, again, game does not turn us into the Babylonians until after we have finished exploring, or until we end the turn, which in this case means finishing exploring. So, violent pursuits. The last winter was especially harsh, the ground hard and the frost chilling to the bone. In the heart of the settlement, the tribe huddled close to share warmth through the coldest days, but for some it wasn't enough. Some needed to get their blood flowing, and they found a means through violent games. Grappling, fighting, contests of strength and endurance. One contest where opponents fight with hidebound fists has gained quite a following, to the point that the outpost's usual foraging missions are under threat. What is your say on this new pursuit? We can encourage it, and lose 5 food on our outpost, which will soon be a city. And on nomadic tribe, which I'm assuming just means nomadic tribe units, plus 2 combat strength on those units. Not all that useful. I think what we'll do, forbidding is okay, but I think I'm going to probably go for codify, so we can save some research on domestication. And we got it with a second one. Oh, this is because of our legacy. So we have the option. So you stand at a crossroads. For many moons, the tribe has trekked the wilderness, slowly, tortuously, learning the secrets of the world. Now, the materials hidden in the deep places and in plain sight might be fashioned to the tribe's advantage. How the beasts and plants of the lands and seas can be most fruitfully harvested, and how myths and stories can glacially, but inescapably, give power over our greatest enemies, other tribes. Now you must decide in what domain the tribe will truly sharpen its knowledge for the ages to come. Will you be renowned as makers, farmers, or charmers? So makers give us a +1 industry per population on city or outposts, which is useful because you will always need industry. Farmers for +1 food, which is also useful because you will always need more food. Or astronomy, +1 science per population. Science is not actually all that useful come endgame, because this tech tree, once you finish it, you're done. There's no repeatable tech to research like there is in some of the Civ games, and we're not playing with the game mode that you can win by being the first to finish researching the tech tree. Which is an option. If you choose the default settings, that is actually an option. You can win by just finishing up the tech tree. So, because one thing that I often find that I struggle with, especially in the late game when I have to inevitably merge cities together, spoiler alert, we're going to have to do that, I guarantee you, is food. So we're going to go with farmers. We will study the land and all its riches, and we will never lack for sustenance. And now let's go ahead and become Babylonians.
The challenges of a young civilization. It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay. This means more than just markets for the Babylonians. It's also the beginning of mathematics, astronomy, and a set of codified laws that I wouldn't want to be caught breaking.
And every culture actually has that sort of little unique thing that they give you there, where it's just something about it. You know, if you play as the Spanish, or if you choose to go Spanish down the line, you get something similar as well. Oh, so somebody has chosen to be the Harappans, or however it's pronounced. I guarantee you I butchered that as well. Let's go ahead and evolve Alderamin into the city of Babylon. Build a pottery workshop. And units also cost population. Another reason why the +1 to food for every pop is useful, because it means our pops will fill up significantly faster. Now, technically, you don't need pops for your city to function. We literally have 0 pops. We have nobody working farms, nobody working anything. We have 0 population in this city, with a maximum of 8. That will, of course, grow over time. And actually, I think that 8 is just because of the jobs here. There's 2 of each of the 4 categories, thus a maximum of 8. So, this guy is gonna actually just stay here.
Let's do this.
And we're gonna set the other people to, I think, just auto-explore at this point. The game, I think, actually does a fairly decent job of auto-exploring,
Over this
particularly when there is actually land to explore still. It kind of doesn't do as great a job, in my opinion, once you run out of Fog of War. But for now, it's okay. The only auto-explore that I find is kind of crap with this game is naval. I find naval units don't do a particularly good job of auto-exploring, and it doesn't matter how advanced those naval units are, they just all do a terrible job, in my opinion. Actually, I should probably go and take that. Yeah, I should probably go ahead and build a outpost here so I can gain access to those pearls. For +1 money per trader and +4 stability per pearl, which basically a guaranteed increase in stability is always nice. So, question is, what do we go with first? So we have domestication, which I think we'll go for first because of those horses. We'll follow that up with city defenses. Nope, sorry about that. Yes, queuing doesn't work properly if you're not looking in the tech tree menu. I don't know why. It works weird. So there we go. That queues them properly, and somebody has chosen to be the Olmecs. Okay, so game's not going to give me any recommendations for this one apparently, which, I mean, I'll live. Where do I want it? I can have this outpost produce extra food by putting it in one of these two. Actually, I kind of like the 10-10. And now we have to choose our, well, assuming we have the influence, which it looks like we do, we get to choose our founding myths and our legitimacy. And there are, for lack of a better way to describe them, sort of, I really don't recall what these are referred to as. But you have options here regarding if your civilization leans more towards collectivism or individualism, homeland or world, liberty or authority, tradition or progress, which all come with various bonuses. So for legitimacy, we can choose customary laws, historical precedent, and tradition serve as the basis for our judgments. This will lean us more towards tradition, which if we take that all the way to the very end, we get a +4 faith on territory. Partway through is a +5 stability on all cities and +2 faith on territories. And just in the middle is a +10 stability on all cities, which is the same everywhere. So this is sort of divided into 5 different slices. Depending on which slice you're in, determines which bonuses you get. And if you're halfway to one end or the other, you get half the stability and half of the full bonus. So you can choose to try and sort of game it if you want to, by only going partially towards any of these, depending on what best fits your situation. But I'd rather honestly just get the straight up plus 10% science on city or outpost, so we're going to go for codified laws, which also comes with its own benefit. Minus 20% on attach outpost cost and minus 20% on absorb city cost. Both of those will be very useful as we progress through the game. This makes creating outposts cheaper, which is not super useful in my opinion. You can change these as you progress through the game. I don't typically. I don't generally have a need to. But in this particular case, yeah, we're definitely going to be going with codified.
Once you discover writing, you can literally throw the book at them.
And we shall figure out founding myth as well, which we're probably going to go for natural right, which again takes us more towards progress. If you go with divine mandate, that puts us right back where we were basically, which I don't really care for. So that has 2 more turns until it's ready to go. Can set cities into collective minds mode. All the industry and money are converted into science. That's probably useful in the late game, not so much right now, honestly. And Babylon has gained its first population, and now we have the option of founding our religion. We can go with a polytheist religion of +5 faith per number of attached territories, or +1 faith per population with shamanism. I'm gonna be honest, I do think that these are very unbalanced in that, well, between them, in that shamanism is significantly better than polytheism. Because you gain faith much faster, because population tends to grow faster than attaching territories to cities. And more faith allows you to get tenets, which allows you to potentially choose better tenets because each religion, or each tenet can only go to one religion at each tier. There's like 5 tiers of tenets, and I think each tier has something like 6 different tenets you can choose from. So theoretically, you can have 6 different religions on the map. I can't say I've ever seen 6 religions on the map. I think the most I've ever seen was 3. Because typically what tends to happen is that all the smaller ones get drowned out fairly early on, and they just never recover. So we're going to go with shamanism. Again, I do think shamanism is significantly more powerful than polytheism, just because of the faith generation is a lot faster. And now the game wants to ask us for how do we do army composition, which we don't have the influence to actually choose, but we can choose between conscripts, which takes us towards authority, or professional soldiers, which takes us towards liberty. As a general rule of thumb, I think we're going to go for professional soldiers. It's just much better in my opinion. More influence from emblematic districts is always nice. I don't really care for the vision and detection range on districts. I just don't think that one's particularly useful, honestly.
A first city constructed. Walls, roofs, an outhouse. Ah, the luxuries of civilization.
Yes, we've had the city for a little while now, in case you didn't quite catch that memo. Now we have choices on building out our infrastructure for our farmers' quarters. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Actually, no. It's gonna take forever to get this out, but I don't really have a reason not to. Oh, and yes, because I haven't attached that territory because I lack the influence, I can't build this over there. We'll build it right here. I can rearrange our build order a little bit later down the road, but for now, that's what we're gonna do. And somebody's taken the Egyptians. And we've met the Egyptians. And we've discovered the Taiga Forest. And, oh, I was the first to discover Kawa Agent.
Make sure you stay for the night. and see the blue fire.
Wonderful. And we got domestication, which gives us horses.
They're impressive, the Egyptians. It's a fair bet that you'll be embarrassed if you compare cities with them.
And apparently we had more than enough leftover or excess research from finishing domestication to immediately research city defenses as well. And apparently being the first to discover a Kawa agent, or however it's pronounced, is actually a world deed, which immediately gave us 50 fame. We are pretty well ahead. The Egyptians are actually not doing so hot. They are actually in last place right now. Well, technically they're tied for last place with 3 other people. The game is actually considering them to be in last place, though. Let's get a horse ranch up. That takes 5 turns, and that is extra science. If I build any research quarters adjacent to it, which we probably will, but we can't build them right now. And also, let's go and attach that outpost. And that gives us some extra production, which drops it down to 3 turns instead of 5. And, okay, good. Babylonian... Oh, okay, that's just the game telling me that that's slowly spreading to Babylonian shamanism, which we can rename if we want, but I won't, because I can't come up with a good name right now. So we could theoretically propose an alliance if we wanted to with the Egyptians. They're not really a threat to us, so that may not be the worst idea for right now, just to make sure they stay off our back. But there's also no reason to do it because they're not a threat to us, so yeah, we're just gonna ignore them, I think.
You intrigue me. Let's talk.
Fascinating. And yet...
Okay, so they're wanting to trade luxury resources between us, which opens them up to be able to buy those pearls if I... Or, well, when I manage to be able to start exploiting them. I've never bought resources from the AI because I never had a real need to do it, honestly. We'll accept.
Yes, I cannot dispute the benefit in that.
Because there's not really a reason to say no, but yeah, neither of us have anything right now. So it's just sort of whatever. And garrison is what I was thinking of for that Assyrian building.
You have constructed a first emblematic quarter. It's a symbol of power and a lasting memory of this era. Go ahead, be smug.
Wait, is that actually called an emblematic quarter? Am I? Is it really? I could have sworn it was Artisan Quarter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Artisan Quarter game. I think you might be a little confused. But whatever. Okay, we'll go ahead and be able to start exporting those, and we'll sell those off to the Egyptians, and they'll buy them, and that'll give us extra money that I can then spend to, you know, buy out buildings and shit. Let's check out Civics. And yeah, we're gonna go for natural right for the +5 influence on the main plaza.
Why was this even a question? Let's keep it simple. We've been here. It's our place.
And army composition, we are gonna go for professional soldiers to have a +1 combat strength on all of our units. Conscripts is a decent option actually, with the -30% on unit industry cost, but I think just having my units be better is more beneficial than just building more units, or being able to build units faster, because like I mentioned, units require population, and various amounts of population depending on the unit. Typically infantry type units and early cavalry and whatnot are 1 population, but in the late game, when you start getting like infantry fighting vehicles and tanks, those are like 2 or 3 population per unit. So being able to build fewer and have them, each of those be more effective is honestly, I think, more useful than being able to build more with less industry, but still needing the same amount of population cost.
It does seem logical that people shouldn't have to do a job unless they want to.
That's just my opinion on that matter. Oh, yes, get those out. And we got Carpentry, which means that we can clear forests now, for what that's worth. You know what, actually, I think we're gonna go ahead and try and pump that out. The lumber yard. The extra industry right now. Let's go with, so we will never use forced labor, because that trades population for the instant construction of buildings, if you don't want to use money. It's an option. It's not a great option, but it's an option. Bronze working we will not be able to use right now because we don't actually have access to copper. I do know where some is, I just don't have immediate access to it. Although I probably should work to gain access to it, so these guys are gonna fall back. Oh, I don't have the influence. How much does it cost right now? 70. Okay, that's fine. We'll sort that out, but we're gonna want to get, yeah. We're gonna want to get that because that is copper. And that's the only copper we know about right now. Oh no, there's some up here. That's way the hell up there. Where do I build it though? Really, there's not a good spot to build this. We'll probably build it over here. Although I'll need to build here as well.
Follow me.
So that I can connect these. Oh. I never noticed that there's actually a cost difference in influence if something is far away from your territory. Does it cost more the further away? It does, actually. Okay. So, never mind. We're gonna build here first. And then we'll build an outpost there next time. Where do I want? Oh, God. 21 food there. Yes. You just keep waiting there. Another empire got that. Be the first to discover Vinakunka. Up and somebody's fighting us. Oh.
Time to see what happens when foreign cultures get together and decide to murder each other.
Oh, Egypt, I wanted to be friends. I really did. I had no reason to fight you. Oops, not raise. Okay, so we could actually fight them if we wanted to. They're just scouts. But their scouts are actually better than our scouts. Not 100% sure why. Their units do not have any veterancy, so it's a little bit weird, but okay. But we're just gonna retreat. We're not gonna try and fight them right now. And actually, what you guys will probably do is just group up with that other army, or that other bunch of scouts. We got the Agrarian Star. Don't fight me again, you bastards. Okay, well, I can't.
Will do.
I can't retreat from this one, so we're gonna have to fight them. We are evenly matched. I am hiding in the forest because that is where our flag is, although admittedly it's
Come over here.
not the best idea because they'd gain a bonus for attacking downhill. This is gonna be an annoying battle. I can tell you this right now. Oh God. We did a lot more damage to them than they did to us. Which is actually very nice. I kind of wish they had gone to try and hit our camp or capture our flag, because then I'd get a bonus for attacking downhill. Oh, are you gonna do it? They're gonna do it now, okay. Well, we'll probably wipe them out now. Is it...
Let's fight!
Thank you for doing it, but it was a terrible idea. You weren't actually supposed to do it. So now I can hit the Egyptians with grievances if I feel so inclined, and I probably will do that in the future. Not right this second, however. That has 9 turns until it's done. God, that's gonna take forever. Actually, you know what? I probably should. You know what? We're gonna demand that they pay us 100 gold for attacking our units. That'll give us a... Because we have these grievances, that'll increase our war support for going to war with them. We are actually considered much more powerful. You know what? Honestly, I think I may even just say skirt and we'll have an early war. Probably next part, though, because I don't think it'll happen this part. But, yeah, I think we might end up going that route, honestly.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, wonderful. Our religion continues to spread. They actually are still animist. Okay, now I can wait 2 turns or I can just buy this out, and honestly, I'm gonna just buy it out. And after you're done building all those other things, let's get those other things built. And masonry, wonderful. Again, we're not gonna ever use forced labor, it's just not gonna happen. Also...
Are you wine or are you vinegar?
Okay, they're jealous of us, apparently now. Let's see, so our trust is stable, we have made demands on them and their war support is lower than ours. But it's up because we have a treaty. Honestly, do I piss them off? Yeah, I'm gonna piss them off.
This treaty has outlived its...
Okay, where do I build this? I can have this be a industrial powerhouse by building it up top, which isn't the worst idea. I think we'll do that. It also makes defending it significantly easier if we were to turn this into a city, although actually, we might go that route. Yeah. We might turn this into a city. Because it's fairly close to the Egyptians. Although the thing is, of course, if we do go to war with the Egyptians, you don't have the option of raising their cities to the ground afterwards, or downgrading them to outposts or anything. You get stuck with them being cities, even if you don't want a city there. That would honestly be my only gripe about this game. Oh good, we got a free warrior. Let's go ahead, start shipping him across the map so that he can help us in our war against the Egyptians that will probably, like I said, be happening next part if I had to make a guess. Ah yes, Keepers of the Creed. An unexpected rivalry has erupted between 2 temples in Babylon, each representing a different sect of Babylonian shamanism, and honestly that should just be Babylonian, not Babylonians. One temple argues that religious matters should be left in the hands of dispassionate men, while the other contends that only women with their capacity for nurturing life possesses the necessary understanding for these affairs. These quarrels must stop before your inhabitants start fighting each other. Who should be your religious leaders? Now, this choice doesn't really matter. If you choose men or women, that takes you slightly closer towards traditional or traditionalist or whatever that end of the spectrum is called, ideology. tradition. Or you can just say all, which takes you more towards, God, what is that one called? Progress. There we go. Yes. This has no real impact as a choice. This is like the only time we'll ever deal with anything religious in this here. Like, as far as I can tell, I've never gotten any other events related to religion. Well, actually, no, that's not strictly true. There is one more later down the road that I assume is sort of supposed to somewhat reflect, like, the separation of, like, the Orthodox and Catholic Church or something like that. That schism there. Doesn't really matter, though, honestly. Even that event, actually, I don't even think matters. So, we're just gonna say all, because that takes us more towards progress, which is a nice thing. More research is always nice. At least for me. Bronze work has been researched, and we gained a Era Star for that. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have you guys stay there until the soldier, not the soldier, the warrior arrives. Got some curiosities. So, let's see. We got science, science, and money curiosities. Yeah, we're gonna turn this into a city. But we're probably going to attach Merope to Babylon. Also, let's get that. Now they have settled here with Proxima Centauri, which I don't know why you would name an outpost after a star. I'm assuming this is partly meant to be a reference to I mean, I know Proxima Centauri is an actual star, but I'm going to assume that the fact that there is an outpost that can be named Proxima Centauri is in part supposed to be a reference to to Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. I don't know for certain if that is in fact what their thought process was, because it seems weird to name an outpost after a star. Unless it was on that star, in which case you would name it the Proxima Centauri outpost or something. That would make sense, but that's not the scenario here. As far as we know, we are on Earth. Actually, we can confidently say we are on Earth, because we do have the option to space race, to win via space race, and you win that by having a manned mission to Mars.
You tend to only bring misery on me.
We can accuse them of oppressing our people and tell them to give us Proxima Centauri. They refuse to do that. They are pushovers, apparently. Which is probably partly because we got the warrior there, who significantly improves our military prowess. Because he is worth 20 military strength compared to the 14 of our scouts, so he's almost double. Not quite, but close enough. I'll go ahead and attach that to you. Yes, yeah. Next part we will go to war with the Egyptians. They're just asking for it, they really are. Ah, yes. And I haven't been reading these, and I apologize in advance for that. The world, as it ever was, is divided into the rulers and the ruled. Great sprawling empires and proud independent cities. Your struggle is with other empires, but you should not forget the part these free cities can play. So the game asks, what should we do with them? We can go with the mercenary armies option, which the biggest thing is that it decreases the cost of hiring their armies to fight for us. That's not useful to me. I will literally never hire their armies. I'd rather just build my own. Or make it so that they're cheaper to assimilate, which is actually useful. But it should be noted, assimilation also suffers a similar annoyance to me, and again, it's my only real complaint about the game, is that when you conquer a city from an enemy empire, or you assimilate a free city, or an independent people city, whatever you want to call it, a city-state even, you might go so far as to say, is that you have no option to raze it to the ground or at least downgrade it to an outpost. Because sometimes I don't want a city in that location, I'd rather just have an outpost. Because I don't want to merge cities together, because there is a massive penalty. Well, not a massive, but there is a penalty to stability, and those cities are always starving. Like, I have never been able to really build up enough food production in those cities when I merge cities together for them to not lose population, at least for a decent amount of time. Eventually they tend to settle down, but when I merge them, they tend to eventually lose something like a quarter of their population from starvation. So I prefer to avoid that as much as possible. I really do.
Why do you bother me, worm?
Irrigation has been researched. The Egyptians feel differently about us. And honestly, I think we're going to go ahead and start merging some of our scouts together. So that we can go ahead and start preparing them for the inevitable war. They are sullen.
Be swift.
They're sore from a recent defeat, but too weak to do anything about it. Yeah, they'll get over it. Not really. Easiest way for them to get over it is for us to beat the crap out of them. There we go. Organized warfare will give us reinforcements. And let's get the wheel, and actually, let's get writing first, because there is a world deed for getting writing first. Right? Could have sworn there was. Yes. Verba volat scripta manet. Discover writing. So we're going to try and get that first. And somebody got the wonderful Danaki Desert. Okay, you guys, come over here. You're actually gonna merge with those scouts. And we almost got our our stone rings. It's not Stonehenge though. So, you know what? Just to sort of speed it up, getting you guys merged together, I'm gonna tell you guys to head to each other's location. You'll meet about halfway, give or take.
Devotion and respect for authority. Good. Just be careful of fanaticism.
Yeah, we're gonna, it should be noted we will be relying in some degree on fanaticism to expand our empire. Okay, let's get some more buildings out. Oh, this is a completely different place than where I was looking before. Also, yes, you can build harbors in lakes, which is weird because I think it will actually allow you to build naval units there. So you can literally have an army of naval units stuck in a lake. Why would you do that? I don't know. But technically you can. Let's just go for the, for now, get the lumber yard out there. Here. More industry, flood irrigation. Watchtower, public fountain, sure. Do I want to get this? These guys are anti-cav units, which don't really matter right now for us, but they are technically better than warriors in terms of strength. Also, looks like this menu does not take into account our bonus to unit strength, so that's 20, not 19, so this guy's actually 23, not 22. But Land of the Dead. For hundreds of years, the dead of Babylon have been laid to rest in burial sites within or close to the city's borders. Now, however, with a fast-rising population and many dying every moon, these sites are becoming overcrowded. Future burials could lead to disease as corpses await processing. Cremation might be a wiser choice. What is your decree? I'm going to go ahead and stop my timer because it's about to go off. So we can do bury, which will give us forced labor on Babylon for plus 10 industry for 10 turns and minus 8 stability. Our religious traditions must be upheld. The workers will just have to build more tombs. Or cremate. Soldiers will be needed to ensure obedience, but all will be cremated to ensure healthy citizens. So plus 10 food for 10 turns and plus 20% on land unit industry cost as well as naval units. That one admittedly, saying plus 20 is a weird one because I know discount is minus, so I'm assuming this is saying it will actually cost me more, which is a bit weird because it kind of seems like it should probably be giving me the discount for 10 turns to simulate the fact that we're saying we need more soldiers, so let's train more to ensure the obedience. But yeah, whatever. Go with cremate because it's the better option for me, at least in my opinion. Because I will not complain about the extra food production, even if it's just temporary. There we go. Those guys are merged together. Go ahead and set them on their route to get over here. And that is going to be it for this part. Next part, we are going to war with Babylon, it sounds like. Or not Babylon, damn it, we are Babylon. With the Egyptians, rather. Also, we are going to want to head and probably drop some points into trying to get the Knock to join us, because even though we have like nothing in common beyond liberty, they are in a decent spot. I don't have to build a city there, so yeah, we'll take them. I mean, I'd take them anyway just because I don't want independent cities lying around in my territory that enemies can recruit their armies and send them to attack me, or whatever the case may be. These guys are peaceful, so they presumably won't mind that our troops are temporarily trespassing in their territory. Also, are we switching there? No, we are not close enough to bring them into our faith. What can I do to get that? Only thing I can really do would be to expand Babylon temporarily, at least. I'd probably put the outpost with Knock afterwards. Yeah, that's what we'll have to do. That's fine. Yeah, as I was saying, that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time. Go ahead and do a save. And I will see you all next time. Quick reminder that I do have a Patreon and a Discord. You can find links to those down below in the description. I do highly recommend that you join the Discord so you can stay updated on channel happenings. Shortly before recording this, I have to make a post that Baldur's Gate was not getting a part the week that this video is going live because I'm having some stability issues with that game right now. And so yes, those are the types of posts that I'll often make on the Discord if I'm having issues with the game or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I will see you all next time, but until then, goodbye and farewell.